My name is Angie Chiang. I am a doctoral candidate here in the Communications, Media and Film program at the University of Calgary. I'm also a sessional instructor at Thompson Rivers University. Transmedia, it's not a new concept, but it's certainly a much more prevalent one when we think about media franchises nowadays. And essentially what it is a story that unfolds over multiple media. So something that might start as a graphic novel, then unfolds or is adapted in a big budget Hollywood film, but then spins off to a television series and perhaps a webisode or web series, video games, additional graphic novels, traditional fiction novels. Essentially, this story is much too big to contain in a single medium and needs to unfold over multiple media. One of the best examples of transmedia storytelling of recent note was the character of Agent Coulson. So Agent Coulson originated in the Iron Man films. He was a very minor character. Most people found him quite annoying because he would pop up and he would disrupt the main storyline. But he would appear in, I believe, all the Iron Man movies and then I think some of the Captain America movies. But in the Avengers, that's where he, spoiler alert, met his end, very tragically. And it caused an uproar in the fan community. Fans simply didn't want to believe that he had died, even though it was a plot motivator for the rest of that film. So what they did was they took to Tumblr, they inserted themselves into the narrative of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They took on the role of being, sleeper agents, and they were trying to appeal to Agent Coulson to get him to reappear, that he wasn't dead, that he was simply alive and just in hiding. So it was a big social media campaign that got the attention of the studios because at the end of the day, what happened was they did resuscitate the character. They gave him a whole arc explaining his death and his resurrection, and it unfolded in the first season of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Agent Coulson has popped up in a lot of other television shows, so the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon series aimed at younger kids. He's popped up as Principal Coulson. As well, he has his own graphic novel. So he originated in the movies, but now has his own comic book franchise or his own graphic novel franchise. So it's kind of come full circle because the whole Avengers storyline originated in the comics, and now that we've kind of found all these iterations of this character arc, we can see that it's come back to the graphic novel. So it's a pretty interesting through line. And it's just one example, but we're seeing that more and more because audience nowadays, we consume media through multiple avenues and we do it so seamlessly. We don't even think about it. So you'll go to a theater, then you'll watch something on your television, then you'll pull something up on your laptop, maybe pull something up on your phone, pick up a book. We won't even think twice about how we consume. And it's now just becoming much more mainstream and much more prevalent that the studios are catching wind of that. And us as consumers, we're used to it. We want more. We don't just want one-off, one-shots. So that's why we're seeing a big trend in transmedia storytelling. But I'm interested in kind of, well, how are we participating with content without necessarily leaving a digital footprint? A lot of us lurk. This concept of lurking, where we read Reddits, we read online blogs, we read the comments, and that still takes a lot of time, right? And that is a part of the consumption process, even if we don't directly participate. So I'm interested in the more mundane articulations of active audience viewing, and I kind of want to really quash that notion that viewers are passive and that television simply is a waste of time. That people do just to pass the time. I feel like it's very significant. A lot of us spend a lot of time watching television, spend a lot of money, and that time is our time. It's our leisure time. So I think it's important for scholars to examine popular culture, whether it be television, comic books, superhero movies. It's important because a lot of people are clearly engaged. There's clearly a want for it, and it's making quite a bit of money. So I think it's relevant to kind of give a sketch of who we are and what we choose to consume and how it affects us.